So another game week with no football for Arsenal, another competition we're not in, another competition that we haven't won in 5 years. The only one Arteta won that he won with Emery's side, that he won with uh, players that he then shipped out. Aubameyang, we never would have even got to the final without him. Never mind win it. He bossed that final. He's a game changer. He's the type of player we've been crying out for years. The type of player that Saka can be when he's not shackled or injured, obviously. Um, but it's another Artetachoke, as the thumbnail says. Yeah, yeah, I got sent that was a meme doing the rounds. I got bombarded with it as anyone who watches this as a football fan will know. Um, you take them up with a smooth. You give the banter when United are doing bad or Liverpool do bad or whoever your friends support, and you give them shit and you take it when it comes your way. I got sent that. I think that started doing the rounds when we threw away the 2 goal lead against Villa. And rightly so. It was another choke, and it was the FA Cup game against United was another whimper. But we wore all white. We did the no more red campaign. And the players looked pretty. Yes, they played against 10 men for 30 minutes of normal time and 30 minutes of extra time, and then they couldn't put the ball in it. It was a case of no more blood, no more sweat, and no more tears because you know the way we play, the style, the way we're set up to play, uh, means that we're toothless, even with a full 11. Even with a full 11, and I'm looking at the FA Cup and I'm looking at Asensio last night banging in a brace for Villa, player we could have got on loan. Um, a few days after banging in a brace against um, Chelsea, wasn't it? To win them the match. While Kolo Muani's over in Juve, banging them in as well, 5 goals in 5 games and a handful of assists. Another player we could have had on loan, didn't even have to buy either of them. But Arteta's stubbornness, I'm sure he found fault in them somewhere. Uh, Guaranteed it's their work rate or it's their attitude. So when people say we're crying out for a forward this summer, it is Sesko. That's who it's going to be. A tall, 6'5" workhorse. Mm, I don't even think he has a goal every 2 games in him, and that's in Germany. Never mind the Premier League. Uh, People dreaming of Osimhen, not going to happen. He's too strong-willed. Um, and that's what we're left with. And then you even look at Bljovic, who surely would have been available on loan when Moani came into Juve, a player that Arteta's meant to look at, a player that you presume is his type of player. Again, he's another Sesko. Not a very good goal rate, but tall and works hard. But he didn't go for him. You can blame the board; they're not going to block a loan. You can blame them all you want. There's no way they're going to block a loan. And yeah, another weekend where we're not playing football. Another weekend where we get to sit by and watch other teams live the dream. Same as it's been every year since he's come in. Apart from, like I said, the FA Cup he won, where I think we were already in the quarterfinals, was it, when he took over? And he used a team that wasn't his. That had mavericks, that had players that can win a game even when the team aren't playing well. And that's the reality of what it is for us now. I watched the under-18s play against United. I watched the highlights, and they went out as well. So they're definitely living up to Arteta's standards. Max Dellman, little genius. Well, little, he's a tall lad, tall genius. And a few others as well. Played with freedom. Enjoy it while you can, lads, because if you ever get near the first team, the only way you will be through a rake of injuries like we've had. Winieri would not have got close to the football he's got this year. And same goes for Lewis Skelly. If it wasn't for a rake of injuries, the only time Arteta will bring the youth in is when his back's against the wall. So those young lads should enjoy playing a bit of free football while they can, because unless they move on, um, when they do finally break into the Arsenal team, they'll be shackled and they'll be ground down to nothing but workhorses. So yeah, enjoy it while you can. But that's it. That's where we are. That's why we're all watching other teams play the FA Cup this week. A competition that we all love, and that Arsenal are the greatest team greatest record in it in history. It should be proud. It should be something we go for. We should put everything into winning that cup every year. It's an Arsenal tradition, or was. Um, Wenger won it. Was it 7 times? Again, I should check that, but I think it was 7 times. And yeah, that tradition's gone now as well, but we still, sing "No London Forever" at the start of each game, and we have Win the Dog, and that should hold us over for another 5 years, I suppose, until he comes up with a new gimmick. Um, I, I was thinking as well when about the banter with football. Like I've no issues getting sent memes off all my mates, for the Artetachoke thing. And being an Irish Arsenal fan, there's a lot less of us. We're surrounded by United, Liverpool fans mainly, a lot of Villa fans because of the Irish connection from the 80s and 90s. There was a ton of Irish players there, and a lot of my generation started supporting Villa when they had Ray Houghton and the Townsend, Paul McGrath, and the like. Um, and so banter, every football fan puts up with it, and the more you give, or the more serious a fan you are, you're going to get it more. And with there being only a handful of, I'll say a handful, a lot of Arsenal fans, but normally in each group of friends or whatever, there'll be one, maybe two tops. So when Arsenal are messing up like this, you're the one that gets bombarded, and again, it's all fun and games, and you laugh it off. I got that Arteta choke meme sent by about six different people. Um, and something he doesn't seem to realise is when he's making ridiculous comments in press conferences, blaming the ball and everything else he's come up with. Um, as a fan, you get attacked in your messages or in your WhatsApp or whatever, like you said it. I remember when he said that within 10 minutes of it being on Sky Sports News, I was getting messages like I had said it. What? The ball, really? The ball? You fucking idiot. I was like, "Oh, I didn't say it. I didn't say it." But but again, I do the same to my Liverpool mates, and when Darwin Nunez has another mare of a game, I'll give them hell. That's what it's all about. But we better strap in. Uh, all the Arsenal fans out there, we better strap in for the next few years because it's only going to get worse. This is only getting worse and worse and worse. And if Arteta, and he will, gets to spend this money in the summer, we're done for a long, long time because he is only going to sign holding midfielders and defenders, and Sesko that's who we'll get. And it's just going to be even more drab from now on. It's going to be long ball, and it's going to be endless crosses just looking for Sesko's head. And they'll probably still play Havertz ahead of him when he's back. And, you know, just strap yourself in because that's what's coming. That's what's coming for us is more years of absolute failure. Um, and you can say again, I'm tired of hearing about the board. I'm tired of hearing about injuries and suspensions. Like I said in the last video, the last two games, we've only essentially been missing players from two positions because Trossard can be considered a starter in some circles. He starts 50% of the games. We were missing a centre forward and we were missing Saka. The rest of the team is our first team. So if we're that bad, we're essentially that bad without Saka. That's how bad we are. And will he be the same when he comes back from that injury? I hope so. He's a strong lad. But I mean, that amount of weight on him and that amount of pressure. I mean, it must be like what Rodri's feeling at City, going, "Dear God, I can't even take a break without the whole thing falling apart." And then will Arteta rush him back? Will he rush him back to try and keep the fans off his back? Because that's all he cares about is his image. Arteta only cares about his image. He only cares about how he looks, how he comes out of things, and and that's devastating for a team to have a manager like that. That's a Jose Mourinho manager. That's who that is. That's a man that just loves the attention on him, loves the attention on him, speaks in riddles, sits at home. I'd imagine all week thinking, what ridiculous thing can I say in the press conference this week? So it becomes a soundbite. and I'm all over social media and I'm all over the news. How can I make this about me? It's why he's driven anywhere. It's why he'll drive Saliba out. It's why he'll drive Gabriel out. It's why he'll drive Saka out. You know, I mean, Smith Rowe left surely for football, but I mean, we saw last season when that kid was fully fit, he would Arteta would find any reason not to put him in the team. Any reason not to put him in the team. And you'll find years will pass and we'll find out that all these players fell out with him. You know, it's the only explanation because we know how stubborn Arteta is. I mean, that's his biggest weakness. He thinks it's his biggest strength, it's his biggest weakness. How shockingly stubborn he is. I mean, he is shockingly stubborn, and it's all personal beefs that he has with these players. And the Arsenal fanboys out there. I mean, your point's as valid as mine. I'm not having a pop at you, and I admire your loyalty, and we're all in this together. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm going to be tuning in for the PSV game, going, "Oh, I hope we lose." So Arteta gets the sack. I'll be rooting for the team, the same as ever. Like I said again in a previous video, I'd be physically ill in the lead up to a game. I'd be physically ill during the game, and I do be inconsolable when we lose. I hate it. Straight to bed. Be grumpy at me, and because I had my heart and soul over to this team, like so many fans. So when it's going wrong, it hurts. And it hurts, and it hurts when we're not only losing, we're playing awful football. It's so hard to watch. It's so predictable and so boring, and it's so toothless. And that's with our full team. That's when Saka's back. He's the only spark. And Wanyeri, like I said before, that kid will be ground down into just being nothing but a winger who tracks back. The flair will be ground out of him. Arteta will get hold of him and he'll grind the flair out. And yeah, I don't even know if I'll tune into football this weekend. I don't want to watch other teams getting through. I don't want to watch other teams. I'll watch a series on Netflix or something because I'm not. It just depresses me watching these other teams progressing. You know, it depresses me, and that's what's happened. But I should be used to it. But do we ever get used to it? We always come back for more. We're like an abused partner, and people go, "Why did I stay with them? Did you not see what he did to her? Why did you stay with him?" They get in your head. It's like being, you know, it's like being manipulated. And that's as a football fan. It's like being that new buzzer. It's like being gaslit by a team that tell you at the very when you're just about to leave, they drag you back again with some sweet talk. Ooh, we might be going for Kimmich. Oh, okay. Again, that guy's on 300 grand a week. Do we want him? Do we want Kimmich? I mean, he's injury prone at the pace of the Premier League. Is he going to become our highest paid player? And I think I heard was it Curtis Shaw saying it was an amazing point he said about if we were he knows as well as I do we're not getting Isak, but even if we were, he's going to look at our team and go, well, you're paying average 275 grand a week. I want at least 50 grand more than that chap. I'm 5 times better than him, as Curtis said. And he's right. What player's going to come and go, oh, yeah, pay me less than that mess? Any player, not just a forward, any world class player is going to go, you're paying him that guy. It's a mess. And it's far from a Man United mess at the moment, but this is how it starts. You have all these players on massive wage who aren't getting their game and aren't good enough. The Zinchenko's and the Jesuses and the I don't know how much QBRs on. I presume it's not a lot, but you get these players that you know they're on so much money, and teams are going, well, I'm not going to pay them that, and the players going, well, I'm not dropping my wage, and you get stuck with them, and you have to pay them these massive wage because they're going, well, you aren't really going to win anything from what I can see. The only way I'm coming is if you pay me a bucket load of money. They're not going to come for the appeal. They're not going to come because you know we're challenging. You can say, "Oh, we finished second," but I mean, second's just first last. That's all that is, and that's the attitude you need to have if you want to be a top club. Second is first last. You were the best out of the other 19 that finished last, and it's second's good enough for people. I mean, what's the point, really? You know, in any walk of life, coming second. Well, what's the point? I'm not saying that you should be ashamed of finishing second, but if you consider yourself one of the best, you should be doing better. But yeah, so be like me. Don't bother watching the football this weekend. Take it off. Take it off. Prepare yourself for Tuesday night because that is going to be an absolute bore fest. That is going to be what we did in the second half against City away from home from the first whistle with 11 players. That's what that'll be. It'll be just clear it, lock up, clear it, lock up, clear it, lock up. Um, and that'll be for the rest of the season, in fact. So yeah, not really much more to say on that, but why didn't we get Asensio and why didn't we get Muani? I'll tell you why. Because of Arteta, and that's it. Cheers, boys and girls.